Hey there everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Kayla and I have an 8-year-old son named Shane with autism. I created this as a space where I can share my resources and experiences and hopefully improve the lives of some families living with autism. In today's video, I'm going to share with you how I am freaking out a little bit about summer vacation this year because I have only secured about 4 weeks of camp for Shane, and I know many of you parents out there are going through the same thing. It's so hard to find activities for our kids in the summer. Shane's off for 8 weeks and we only have 4 planned. So I'm freaking out a little bit, but to be honest, it's not the first summer that we've been in this situation. So I want to share with you some of the activities that I've found for Shane through my research, the camps that have worked, the ones that haven't worked, and also sort of just other activities that you can find to keep your child occupied and have it a fun, easygoing, relaxing summer. I remember the first summer Shane was home for summer vacation after finishing kindergarten, and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do with him for 8 weeks? It was so hard to find camps that would accept him or that had experience with children with autism or trained staff. And I knew that some of his autistic traits were going to affect how he interacted and how he was able to keep up during the camp day. I wanted him to have a good time, and most importantly, I wanted him to be safe. So through a lot of research and some trial and error, I knew that what was best for my son was going to be a specialized camp that is geared for children with autism. Now, these sort of camps tend to be more expensive, and they often have limited space because they want to help as many kids as possible. Also, his school offers a camp, so I've got him 2 weeks there and then 2 weeks at a specialized camp that's a private camp, but again, for children with autism. So those are 2 avenues you can look at. These separate sort of private camps that gear for children with special needs. And also you can check in with your child's school to see if they offer anything. In addition to that, many of the area camps, as well as the, I guess you say regular day camps for kids, sometimes they have funding to apply for additional staff. A neighborhood camp might actually have funding available that they can apply for to have additional support for your child with special needs. So for example, if your child is a runner or doesn't always follow the routine and you're worried about them wandering off, maybe they can actually hire a trained staff member to stay specifically with your child. For example, the YMCA actually has a whole program here in Canada that every year they accept a certain amount of students with special needs, including autism, and they train their staff. It's just a short course, and they assign one person per child to stay with your child during the camp day to make sure that they're able to follow the routine and enjoy themselves and have a good time, and most importantly, be safe. So again, you can try the YMCA, you can try your local community center camps, or even just any other camp that you might be interested in. They may actually have a resource that they can apply for if they're aware that a child needs additional help. There are organizations that specifically hire and pay for support staff. If not completely, they'll pay for maybe a percentage of support staff for your child to do activities, and that includes day camp. So that's something else that you can look into. I want Shane to have a fun-filled summer, but I also want a little bit of a break for me. So it's good for me to have him go to camp and enjoy himself. I usually keep him home ideally only 1 week. This year I'm looking at 3 to 4 weeks of him being home. So what we're going to do with that spare time that we have together is obviously play and have a good time, but we are also going to be reinforcing some of the things that he's learning in therapies and as well as in school. So my son Shane has some behavioral problems, so we will be reading lots of books and understanding lots of social stories about keeping your hands to yourself and, waiting your turn and not talking back. We'll also sort of reinforce some of the speech therapy that he's been through, working on his prepositions because he's struggling with that right now. But I also like to use the summer vacation that he's home a bit for letting him or having an opportunity to reinforce some of the things that he's learning in school and therapy. Over Shane's last couple summer vacations, I have definitely learned that there is a survival plan that must be put in place in order for us to be able to enjoy extended times at home. I think the key is to maintain a schedule that the child understands and can predict and know what is expected of them. So for example, if your child goes to school every day and they use a visual schedule, they use social stories, those sort of things, continue to do them in the summer. Even if your child is not going to camp, you should still have a schedule so that they understand what is expected of them all day long. For example, like we will wake up and I will just have a little schedule where, because now I can just use stick people, but I will show Shane like, okay, first you watch TV, then we're going for a walk, and I'm just drawing all these things. Then it's lunch, then we're gonna watch another movie, then we go to the park with friends. I'm drawing all these things, and as we do them, I just check them off so that he knows that even though there's not a specific schedule because we don't have school and therapies and outings and so forth, he knows exactly what is expected of him and how the day is going to go. For us, that has been integral because he needs that structure whether he's in school, at camp, or not. Prepare your child for the end of school. Make sure that your child fully understands, school is over, you will be going to camp, or you will be staying home with mom, or you'll be staying home with grandma, whatever it is. Create a social story, just sit down and have a conversation, whatever it works, but prepare your child mentally so that they know what is going to be happening over the next few months, because it is such a major change for school, and we know that many of our children do not like change. So towards the end of the year, I start to talk to Shane about summer vacation, reminding him what it means and that he will be spending some time with mom and some time at camp. And I think I even wrote a social story about summer vacation at some point for him, just to really reinforce it. Prepare them for the onset of the new schedule, the new routine, and the fact that school is ending and summer vacation has started. Search for inclusive activities that your child will actually really love and enjoy doing. I know that's not always easy, but oftentimes summer can be very hectic and it will be really hard for you to find activities that will work with your child's needs. And that being said, do not be scared to call locations and activities to ask them when they are less busy. If, for example, crowds and loud noises are difficult for your child. Some places actually have what they call a sensory hour. I know they do them in malls, and some of the play zones in my area have them. And it's just at a time where they set aside and they accept less people, or they might actually only accept children with special needs during that time frame. So search for activities that your child is going to be able to really fully enjoy themselves. And if for whatever reason you do have to try out an activity that you are not sure your child will enjoy, what I always do is I bring what I call survival pack. Basically, it's Shanie's little backpack, and inside it I put like his favorite coloring, I put his iPad, his drawing pad, some of his favorite animal toys, and I always make sure if we're trying out something new or we're going to like a loud restaurant that I have his headphones in this little survival pack. And if everything goes south, he definitely has something that he can enjoy in that moment no matter where we are. This could be the beach, this could be a restaurant, this could be a birthday party. I try to keep this survival pack with me so that when I want to do activities that he may not love, for example, like going to a festival or laying on the beach for an hour and a half, he has a survival pack and he has something that he can go to make sure that he is satisfied in the moment, because I know it's not always easy to find activities that they're going to want to do, especially if you have a family of multiple children. Some kids like to be in crowds and to play sports, and maybe your child with autism doesn't. So keep that survival pack on hand so that, they're always going to have something to do that they're going to like and enjoy. The best piece of advice I can give you about surviving summer vacation is try to get a little bit of time for yourself. It's also your summer vacation. And I know from experience, spending a whole summer with your child, especially if they're not in camp or many activities, can be incredibly exhausting. You deserve a minute to yourself. And I know it's not easy to find somebody to watch your kids all the time, but even if you just get an hour here, ask a friend, ask a grandmother, find out if there's a local community center that maybe, your kid can do one activity a week, whatever it is, find some time to yourself. You deserve it and you will need it to recharge. Summer can be a lot of fun, but it can also be incredibly exhausting, especially for us autism parents. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing summer. If you like this video, share it with somebody that you think it would help, or give it a thumbs up. I post videos every single Sunday, sometimes Wednesdays also. So if you enjoyed this and want to hear more, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you and take care.